Welcome to the Kennedy Effect, where we empower ambitious women to ditch the Superwoman Act and reclaim their joy. I'm your host, Patricia Kennedy. I'm bringing you practical tips and strategies to help you show up as your best, most fulfilling self without burning out in the process. If that sounds like the kind of content you're craving, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, let's dive into today's topic. Today we're going to talk about why women struggle to be able to envision their own future. As women, we're often conditioned from a young age to put the needs of others before our own, whether it's caring for family members, supporting our partners, or fulfilling societal expectations, like volunteering at church, volunteering for this, volunteering for that, being voluntold at work. In some cases, our focus tends to be outward instead of inward. And so while this nurturing spirit is admirable, it can also make it incredibly difficult for us to clearly envision and pursue our own futures. So if you're taught from a young age to be a good girl, be polite, be accommodating, and selfless, we're encouraged to do the domestic duties. And during COVID, there's studies that have been done that show that women still do the lion's share of the household chores, even if both partners work, and it's the glue that holds the family together. And the expectation is that it's always the woman who has to do this. And if she doesn't do it in a selfless way, then there's something wrong with her, or she's not good enough, or she's afraid to speak up and ask for help and ask for support. And this pattern continues well into adulthood. From the time that we learn it as young girls, we're still socialized to be the primary caretakers, the emotional support system for everyone else. And we pour out our time, our energy, and our hearts to make sure that everyone around us is happy and taken care of, except for us. So in the process, we lose sight of ourselves and who we are and what our dreams were. We get so caught up in meeting the needs of others that we fail to remember or clarify what we wanted for our lives. Our vision, if we even had a vision other than getting married, becomes clouded by the demands and priorities of those around us. And even if we do carve out time for self-reflection, most of us don't do that, we may feel guilty or selfish for wanting to focus on our own needs. And so this lack of clarity can be paralyzing. And you don't notice it when you're raising your kids, when you are consumed with work and that you've made your job the most important thing in the world versus yourself and what you want. So without a clear sense of purpose that's uniquely ours, that we believe in, it becomes incredibly difficult to make decisions, to take action, to step into our full potential. We may feel stuck, uncertain of decisions. Even if we muster up the courage to take action towards something we say we want, we are plagued by self-doubt. We're worried. We're being too self-indulgent. We feel guilty. And it's societal conditioning because we think that we're supposed to be selfless all the time. But also our inner critics come up and tell us, who do you think you are? And tell us we're not doing the right thing. So we feel even more guilty and we feel bad about ourselves. But the truth is, reclaiming ourselves is not only possible, but necessary. By learning to balance what it is that we want, our lives that we envision for ourselves, and the things that we need to do to care for others, to care for ourselves, the household chores. And all of those things can be divided equally and fairly. And it's hard to ask for those things when you've been socialized and conditioned that you're not worth asking for, that you're supposed to just suffer through it. Right? A lot of us, we saw our moms doing that. So there is an art and skill to unlearning these things so that you can ask for getting support and not feel guilty about it. When you're doing half, half is fair. So when we have the balance in the caretaking, along with the balance in what we envision for our lives, because we've worked on it, we know exactly what it is that we want from our lives, our hopes and dreams can become reality. And we can create lives that are truly fulfilling for ourselves and for those that we love. It's about striking a balance where we honor our own needs without guilt or shame. Look, the future is ours to shape, but first we must be able to see it. And it starts with unlearning the messages that have conditioned us to put ourselves on the back burner and put everyone else ahead of us. It's time for us as women to shift our perspective, to get clear on what we want, and to take courageous steps towards our vision for our life. It's our only life. The future is ours if we're only willing to claim it. Okay, so I have a Burnout to Bliss bootcamp coming up, and this is where you're going to start to take the first steps toward unlearning the social conditioning and claiming your life and ending burnout. All right, I have information in the description below, so I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.